Lotus Europa actually had its chassis bonded to the body for extra rigidity. However, repair costs proved to be too great, so they ditched that for later cars where it was simply bolted on. In my mind, fitting this uprated chassis is just a way of giving the car back the handling potential it was always designed to have. It is still very much a Lotus.
You've even got two boots in this thing, so there's a modicum of practicality about it. There's a stereo in here, and quite clearly, this car's owner really enjoys it. I'm not surprised. I am.
The Lotus Europa is what I want on the subject of today's video. I want to talk a little bit about it. It was a mid-engine GT car built in Britain. The Lotus were comprised of the types 46, 47, 54, 65, and 74, produced from 1966 to 1975, according to Wikipedia. I wanted to go over a few of the pictures I've come across on the examples I'm going to give. This one example here, this first one here is black with gold pinstriping. And I love that color combination, black and gold. But they started thinking about, I was reading about it, they started this color as a special edition. They was only going to make so many of them. And it became so popular, they made a lot more than what they envisioned making at the first of it. I just like the design of it. It's got a sporty design, and it's a little two-seater with a mid-engine, the engine right behind the two seats there, with the transaxle in the back. Pretty cool design. And the Europa it's kind of interesting design too. It's got those wings on the side of it that on back behind the passenger and the driver's doors, that you just got a little tiny slot. I've never driven one, but they look really cool. I like them a lot. And then this one is like a racing edition where they're trying to do aerodynamic. They put plexiglass over the headlights, and they got a rear spoiler on it. But this shot here was an example of how how the frame is built on this thing. It shows the body above the frame. Pretty cool. It's frame is like a box section going down the length of the car, with you see the transaxle axle sticking out. And on these cars, typically they had a Renault engine, like a 1.5 liter. This, you see the rack and pinion on the front of it right there. Pretty cool. And the body is all fiberglass from my understanding, so it's pretty lightweight. It's like what do they say? I think it's like 1,500 pounds. So if you have a 100 horsepower engine or so in there, it's going to propel it pretty fast because of the weight. Here's the back showing that engine, and that's a long suspension arms right there off of that. There's a cool one in red out in the country somewhere. I think the shot was in London. And there's a 72 in a green. 72 Lotus Europa twin cam 5-speed. And then I found this shot here. It shows a Toyota supercharger, but twin cam 16. I bet you that thing scoots pretty good. Cool shot right there. Red one. And I found this other video. I didn't include it in it, but it made a good point that made in England. So the driver's steering wheel is typically on the right, but if you notice, the glove box is in the same position as the two major speedos. So he made a comment that now that you look at it, that it's easier to change the steering wheel from one side to the other. if you export going to the United States. So it's pretty clever. It's if you start looking at the design of everything, it's pretty symmetrical. So you could flip it without too much of an issue. There's a more of a stock issue right there with the steering wheel on the right side of a stock engine. And that would be like a US. There, I wanted to include that another shot of the like a custom suspension. And this one here, if you ever get a chance to watch this, there's a shot of there's this one video. Maybe I can include the link of this at 2013 on an overhauling show. Chip Foose did one, and he went over the top. I guess the most I don't know if it's the most time, but he spent a lot of time on this car because he designed the suspension. He put flares on wheels because he put the oversized wheels. I'm not a fan of it, but it seems like the in thing to do nowadays. There's the last shot of an overhauling. That's it. Thanks.